He is the undefeated, undisputed UFC featherweight champion Ilia Topuria, and he defends the championship against Max Holloway this Saturday in Abu Dhabi. So, Ilia, how did this training camp go? I know you ended up moving to Madrid for this camp and I believe opened the gym there. So tell me about how that's been shaking out.
Yeah, the training camp went really well. I did the whole training camp at my house. I set up my home. It looked like a small performance institute, to be honest. I did everything there. And this last Saturday, I came here with my whole team in Abu Dhabi. So yeah, in the in the final steps in the final moment of the training camp right now. So I feel very excited, to be honest,
What made you decide to move your camp over to your house as opposed to where you were training previously?
because I feel more comfortable. I optimize more time. I don't need to move anywhere. I stay and I do everything there. My training, my recovery sessions, everything.
I know you and your wife welcomed a daughter into this world, so I imagine that probably played a factor as well, getting to spend more time with her.
Yeah, exactly. That's also a small princess. Amazing moment in my life, a new life in my family. That's always a blessing for any family. So that's an extra motivation also for this fight.
Well, it's certainly been an incredible year for yourself and your Georgian compatriots in the UFC. Two champions from Georgia right now, which is incredible. I think there's, what, five UFC fighters from Georgia in the UFC. Two of them are champions. So, what would you attribute to the success of the fighters from your country?
Mm, a small country with a very strong soul and mind of warriors. So that's why. But maybe we are not a lot, but all we are like a diamonds.
Well, in terms of the promotion for this fight against Max Holloway, it's a fight that people have been waiting for a long time. You did your part beating Alexander Volkanovski, becoming the new champion. And you can say that Max certainly did his part by getting a knockout of the year candidate against Justin Gaethje. Were you happy that that happened? Because he moves up a division, gets a win like that, and it just makes this fight even bigger.
Exactly. I was very happy actually when I saw that knockout because I was like my thought process in that moment was I have a new opponent. I have a new challenger, and I felt very excited about the fact that he get a very excited knockout in the last 10 seconds of the fight, and which was great. And now we get this fight in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's amazing that he get that knockout, and we both find each other in this moment. I come from knocking out Volk. He comes from that knockout, so it's a very excited fight for the fans. I think so.
You mentioned knocking out Volk. Volk has 3 wins over Max Holloway. What can you take away from those wins that he had against Holloway that you can use for your own game plan for this fight?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't like to compare myself with anyone. The only thing I know is that I'm gonna make him look much easier than Volk did. I'm gonna knock him out. I will be the first one to knock him out. There's zero doubts about that. I prepare myself for that. And if he stays in the middle of the octagon in the first 10 seconds of the fight, the knockout will come in the first 10 seconds.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, if that happens, you've got to be the fighter of the year. People are talking about fighter of the year, Alex Pereira, Diego Lopez. If you knock out Volkanovski, first person to finish Volkanovski at featherweight, or beat Volkanovski at featherweight, I should say, and then the first person to knock out Max Holloway, I think that would speak volumes about what you've done this year in 2024.
I, I hope so. To be honest, I'm only concentrated in my fights. I don't know who takes the decision, who is the fighter of the year or who has to be, but if they want to give it to me, I will be really grateful. If not, I'm okay with that also. Congratulations to the fighter of the year.
Well, hopefully that does end up being yourself, and then you can just congratulate yourself. But we'll wait for Saturday to see if that ends up being the case. But 27 years of age, I mean, you got
Exactly.
so much time ahead of you in this sport. What is your biggest goal? Like, if you were to walk away from the game at a certain age, what are you hoping to have accomplished?
What I want to accomplish in the mixed martial arts world, maybe that, maybe that they put me in the book of the champions. That they remember my name for the entire life. When they gonna start to talk about mixed martial arts, I want the people to have to mention my name. That's the goal.
So when people talk about the Mount Rushmore of MMA, you want to be on every fan's Mount Rushmore, so to speak.
Exactly. That's it.
And a lot of people, I think, are turned off by your confidence. But personally, I think if you want to be the kind of fighter that you've become, becoming the champion at age 27, you have to have that kind of a confidence. Why do you think people are turned off by people that have a level of confidence like yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. For me, it's very important to be like this, because if I don't believe in myself, who else is gonna do it for me, right? So I need myself like this. I need myself trusting in the whole process and everything I'm doing, and my abilities, my skills, and my power. So I'm like this. Some people like it, some not, but this is who I am.
Is this how you've always been? Like at 12 years old, did you have a chip on your shoulder?
Always,
Can you
always,
give me an example?
always.
Give me an example of you as a kid and you having this sort of confidence and what that ended up, I guess, manifesting.
For me, my and always it's being like everything is possible in this life. If you believe in something, you have the faith, you're gonna receive it. There is no doubts about that. But you have to work hard to get it and to put yourself closer to the goal you have in your life. So I know all the sacrifices I do, how hard I work to achieve anything I want in my life. So I don't have any doubts about that. And if I have some doubts, I work on it.
Is there like a story you can give me from when you were a kid and doing something with that sort of confidence and bringing that into something that you achieved?
Some personal example about my self confidence. I don't know. I always been like this. This is a gift from God. To be honest, I always been like this. Always had that faith. That I came to this world and all the good things would happen to me. I always had this kind of mentality that if someone could do it, I can do it also, and if no one do it, I can be the first one to do it.
I can say this, I interview a lot of fighters. I've stood next to a lot of fighters. I can feel the energy that fighters give off. And earlier in your career, having stood next to you and spoken to you, I remember there was one interview. I can't remember which fight it was after, but I was talking to you. And I just remember walking you finishing the interview, and after you walked away, me thinking like, just wow, the amount of confidence that you have in conviction that you have in everything that you do, I think will just take you to big places. And obviously, that ended up being the case. You're the champion right now, still undefeated. But have people said that to you over the years, like that they feel that sort of energy from you?
Yeah, they always used to tell me that they they feel the energy, but it comes from hard work. What can I tell you? I work really hard for what I want, and at the same time, I believe that it can happen to me. Of course, it can happen to me. So yeah, I need myself like this.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing what is in store for the fans in Abu Dhabi. It's yourself, Max Holloway, an absolutely incredible main event for UFC 308. Thank you so much for doing this, and we look
My
forward to more of your
pleasure.
success in the cage.
It's always my pleasure to talk to you. I mean, have a great day, a great night. I don't know where you are.